Learning ego management. I have guessed it right. You're wondering as to why I'm poking my nose into the affairs of the mind and in which five-star hotel I attended a workshop on ego management. Well, between you and me, I never attend such workshops in my own city. I always prefer better destinations and go there only if my office gives me to and fro airfare and also reimburses all items of actual expenditure. I have told my boss very clearly that if our office is not paying, please ensure that the organizers are going to bear all my expenses. After all, I need to imbibe my boss's practice of putting all the expenses on office account. So now, what I am going to tell you about the ego management is my very own thinking, not copied from any international journal, which please note. Believe me, I gained this knowledge during just one stroll on MG Road. For your kind information, in India, every town and a city has a Mahatma Gandhi road. Let me share with you what I learned. These days, a psychiatrist is very much a part of every polyclinic where a patient is shuttled between the specialists of various parts of the body. An ego for a psychiatrist is what a virus for a physician. Utter any psychological problem, and the psychiatrist will trace its root cause to your ego. You may naturally wonder, what is this thing called ego? I bet no psychiatrist has ever seen it all his life, but only felt it when his wife did not offer him tea the moment he got up from his bed in the morning. When his fellow psychiatrist flatly ignored his recently published article in the local newspaper, it dawned upon him that his ego was hurt. So the point is that the ego is eternally present in your mind. All you have to do is just display it properly. Unless you show it, nobody would understand your value. You must get importance from people, those who matter to you and also those who do not. Imagine blowing air into a balloon and do the same on your mind. Read ego. It is a complicated issue to see if money, fame, and power inflate your ego or vice versa. This problem alone will create a dozen of PhDs across the country. Perhaps even more if various aspiring scholars create a variety of samples and subsamples of various professionals, from physicians to surgeons, and from chartered accountants to industrialists. Their spouses make a class by themselves, for their egos are directly linked to their husband's income and status. Let us leave this problem to the PhD students and their supervisors and focus upon our lesson. Note that the most important point is ego display. Its intensity should depend upon the target. In effect, it boils down to managing egos of other people. Ego management is not a child's play. It requires a tremendous mental energy to respond to a known person every time he or she passes by. Take, for instance, any simple daily event. When any acquaintance is approaching you, you have to quickly think if he or she is somebody, anybody, or nobody. Then, accordingly, you have to flash a smile, give a weak smile, or pretend as if you haven't seen him or her at all. Similar tactics can be played over the phone too. If the caller says, "Good morning," the available options are to say, "Very good morning," "Good morning," only morning, or just "hmm." In the pre mobile days, executives had allotted this job to their personal secretaries. Now, mobile phones do their job automatically. All you have to do is just to shell out a lot of money for buying a very expensive phone that takes care of such tasks. My sermon so far must have made you wonder if I have encroached upon a philosopher's domain. Well, I have learned all this philosophy from none other than the God and the Godmen. Do they not behave differently with different devotees? If you pay a big fat fee, they are quickly accessible. The internationally renowned Godmen always move about in the company of the rich and famous, who alone can give them a Rolls Royce. These gurus are known more by their disciples than their teachings. Management gurus never taught you how to keep your employees happy through their ego management. In one particular factory, the supervisory staff was unhappy because their pay was lesser than the highly skilled workers. The management made them happy overnight by merely changing their designations as junior managers and presenting them with a pair of ties. You need not join an executive development program to learn such tactics. Just remember how your mother got her work done from you. Honey, you're so good at peeling chickpeas. Even your daddy does not know how to do it. Do this now, please, and I'll make a special dish for dinner. And also ice cream as the grand finale. Did she not say this on a Sunday afternoon? The content might have been different, but the trick is universal. In joint families, women ran the house by pleasing the ego of everyone under the roof, from their husbands to children, and from mother in law to the maid servant. I, for one, will give an award for excellence in ego management to every astrologer. Media barons have shrewdly recognized his unique role in popularizing their channels. Unlike the weeklies of the bygone era, they have given him a prime seat. Every channel starts its day with a telecast on what the stars have in store for each one of you. Universally, all newspapers still continue to publish the forecast every Sunday. Why Sunday? Because only on Sundays you can read the forecast again and again for boosting your ego. And then your ego can withstand any jerk so as to keep smiling from Monday to Saturday.